Hello, everybody. Welcome back, Global Sports Network. We're here today. John, of course, we have great things coming right before Christmas. The new vaccine's coming out. We're getting another one approved. Hopefully, all this will be over come March, and the vaccine will be available to everyone by May for sure, and vaccinated hopefully by summer. John, let's talk sports.
Yes, good. A lot of sports going on. Basketball's coming back, Chris. Got the NFL season winding down into the playoffs here. And, yeah, I'm excited.
We got the Rockets going on. We've got Harden maybe coming back, but word says, John, that he is on his way out, John. They're just looking for a team. No longer is it the Nets. No longer is it 76ers, but he's looking. It's open game, and the Rockets are looking to deal him, coach.
So what do you think? Harden, they're not going to just let him go. You can't just let this guy go.
That's the confirmation that they're just going to let him go. They need to get something for him.
He wants to go, but it doesn't mean and now you would know better than this than me, Chris.
Right.
Olajuwon, he wanted out.
Right.
So just because a guy wants to go doesn't mean he has to go. We have him under contract.
Yeah, right.
He's got to play ball. Right. I'm sorry.
But if you look at the Olajuwon scenario, he decided to stick it out, and the very next season, they went back to back.
Right.
Well, Harden has that opportunity. So, he went back to back, but they didn't win back to back.
My question is, I haven't heard anybody say this, Chris. What's if Harden stays? Let's say he was going to stay the year, and you got Wall, and we got a few other pieces added.
Right.
So it looks good. I don't hear anybody talking about that team, and I think that is what Harden feels. He wants to be on a superstar team.
Well, Coach, I understand, but it's like we talked on the other show the other day. If you can get your bench, because we're going to call it the bench because that's what they are right now. You can get your bench, your team excited about the coaches you just got, which, like you said, Chris, he does have experience. He's been assistant coach at San Antonio. That's fine, but he's never been a head coach. He's never won anything, and that's kind of what Harden's looking at. But if he's able to if Coach Silas is able to get the players excited about what's going on, the atmosphere, about Harden. If Harden can see that and feel that, then just maybe Harden's going to want to stay.
That's the problem with this whole situation, hiring Silas. I know he has a lot of credibility through the league. People respect him. Players respect him. And I think we talked about this on the way in. Before you hire this coach, you got two superstars. Westbrook and Harden, okay? Right. Not only superstars, Hall of Fame players, okay? Now, you're going to bring somebody in and say, well, this is who's going to coach you. A lot of times, guys they didn't want to do that. But I think Harden and Westbrook, they had their problems. That was ending anyway. But you got to – that's the problem. Like, you're talking about Silas and Harden, and we all are, not just you, getting together now. Dude, when he was brought in, these guys should have been by the hip, the coach and Harden.
Well, again, that comes with respect and experience, and if Silas doesn't have that as a head coach, then you're not going to get that reciprocated from any superstar, and say, well, Silas has been there, done that, so yeah, let me respect him, let me do what he's saying.
Yeah,
and I think that's the issue that Harden has right now. And who gave him all that power?
Harden?
Was the outgoing general manager.
Before Fertitta.
No.
Or Fertitta has given him the power, you're saying?
No, the outgoing manager.
You're talking, yeah.
Right, definitely. I mean, if you're giving players and superstars plenty of respect and plenty of power to do what they want, from what I know and what I hear, Harden has gotten every wish. He's gotten his cake and he's gotten to eat it too. So
there's no doubt about it. I mean, he, as far as I'm concerned, but Houston's pretty tired with him, Chris.
Right.
A lot of people that I talk to say he's got to go. But, okay, go ahead and go. But we get a superstar back for you. We don't just should get a player.
Right.
I mean, let's make a trade like we did with Wall.
Right.
Yeah.
But the only thing is you're not going to get a superstar for a superstar. That's not going to happen.
You're
going to get a guard, a forward, and maybe someone else, coach. But you're not going to get. You're not going to
trade a Kyrie Irving for.
No, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's the deal.
That's so.
He's one of the best scorers in the NBA league.
Yeah. Do you remember in 2017?
He makes a team.
Remember in 2017 when you were telling me that that LeBron James will come to Houston, that's the kind of dream you're getting right now with Kyrie Irving. He's never going to come here.
Well,
That's
I'm
not
just
gonna
using that as it. Okay.
I
Well, we'll
understand,
take
but you're not
Kevin
gonna get
Durant.
that. You're not going to get a Durant.
Kevin
either.
Durant.
Too much
No?
money, too much
They're in the
prestige,
same ball
too much
league.
championship. Right.
Although Kevin
right.
plays a little better during the playoffs. A
Right.
lot better.
But you definitely
Crunch time, give
as a
Kevin
Rocket,
Durant
you're
the
right.
ball.
As a Rocket,
It's
coach,
money.
You
Money in
should
the
get.
bank.
You should be able to get something for Harden. Definitely.
Oh yeah,
I'm
something
just saying,
big for Harden.
right.
Big for Harden. It's not a Twinkie deal, like we did, like the Texans did
Right.
with the last 3 years. That's a joke, man. Those are what the Texans did for the last 3 years. They made the worst deal in the NFL 3 years in a row,
Right.
starting with Brown.
And like I said, and we
Unbelievable.
went over this the other day. It may be just the NBA, but in the NFL, and certainly not in Major League Baseball, you're not going to let a superstar player tell you who you're going to draft, who you're going to play, who you're going to pick,
The
who you're gonna
NBA is
play
changing.
with,
I
and who
disagree.
you're not going to play with, Coach. James
Well,
Harden has
that's
gotten,
maybe it used
James
to
Harden
work.
has gotten everything he's wanted. Who he wants to play with. Westbrook was his idea. Westbrook is somebody that he brought over. That's what he wanted, and that's what the Rockets did.
Right.
And then he wouldn't want to play with him. He doesn't
Right.
want to play with him. Doesn't like him.
They don't get, yeah. I mean, look at the playoffs. The Harden takes, steps away. Westbrook's having one of his worst games, hasn't played in a long time. And in the fourth quarter, he hasn't played good the whole game. But in the fourth quarter, let's give Westbrook the ball. And Harden, you just kind of stand over there about midcourt. Don't move around. Don't worry about it. Westbrook can do it.
And I'm
That
gonna
is
swing
ridiculous.
back
Now,
to
that's
what-
on the coach
Right. I'm
doing
gonna
stuff
swing
like
back
that.
to the earlier.
That's totally on D'Angelo.
the earlier D'Antoni.
D'Antoni.
Yeah. I'm going to swing back to the earlier comment, which I said the general manager. In this case, it was Daryl Morey. That's what the name I was trying to get to. Daryl
Mhm.
Morey gave Harden all the power. Okay, we'll do what you want. We'll do what you say.
Well, I
You're the
don't know
superstar.
about that.
That
I don't know. Not with Morey.
that-
Morey.
no, that's been
Morey's the guy
Coach,
that can pull the trigger
that's
on
been
it and make it
confirmed.
happen.
That has been confirmed that he's
Oh,
given
really?
Harden everything
Harden
he's asked
asked for it. Okay.
Yes.
So he presented. Okay.
So Westbrook came out of Harden. He's basically
Ah.
just lying in the bed
yeah. He keeps
he made.
he
Coach.
keeps something in the bed.
He's going to have to.
Yeah.
And in this case, now the confirmation is that yes, he is going, but they don't know where he's going.
Yeah.
So from
I
what
say we keep him this year and then we move
well,
him next
the only
year.
way you
Whatever.
can keep him is what I
You
told
got
you.
to keep him this year.
They have to get excited about Silas. And
What
if
kind
there's
of-
no
yeah.
excitement, then
Yeah.
I don't see him staying here.
Yeah.
I see 2021 as a waste of time for the Rockets. They're not going anywhere. They can rebuild as much as they want to until they get someone to replace Harden or a Harden-like
Yep.
type player. They're not going to.
There's going to be some great teams. The Miami Heat, they're going to make some moves. I think I heard something the other day about them picking up another, ridiculous player to add to that list. The Milwaukee Bucks are going to be tough this year. You got, a few, the Brooklyn. Brooklyn's got some players, and I think that's where Harden, one of the moves.
Yeah, sure.
The 76ers are interested.
And that's another thing that came down last night, that he's no longer
Mhm.
just looking at the Nets or looking at, but he just has an open book now to see where he can go, who will take him,
Right.
whoever's going to make him an offer. So that's how I
Well,
know he's not staying.
That's
If he should stay, Silas needs to make it a little bit more interesting than the practices he's had so far
right.
and the preseason he's having so far.
Yeah.
And I don't see that. We're going to go to a break, Coach, and we're going to come back with a little bit of a big fight that's coming
A
on
big fight.
tomorrow. Right.
Who's fighting? Boxing. We're talking boxing.
Boxing, that is correct.
Yeah, we can talk
This
about a
is-
little bit about that
right.
Mayweather, Tommy Paul,
Right.
Paul,
And
Bruce
we-
Paul.
And we're
I don't
talking
know
about
what a joke, but
uh,
anyway, I'd like to get
Canelo
into
Alvarez
that. Canelo.
versus Callum Smith.
Yeah.
And
Callum
that's tomorrow,
Okay.
Coach. Card time is 8 o'clock,
Yeah.
and we'll see that fight.
All right.
And, I think we are going to go to break for a second.
Yeah. You got us. We're
We'll
going to
be
go
right
on break.
back.
We'll be right back. We got Texans to talk about, boxing to talk about, a little bit on tennis, not much.
Don't push me because I'm close to the edge.
I'm trying not to lose my head.
Hey, this is the Talk About Unity show where I bring the talk.
And I bring the unity.
And together we talk about unity.
unity.
Unity is what matters.
Come on.
And right now in our country, that's what we've got to do. So we do that here at Talk About Unity on the Edge Radio Network. Be with us every week.
It's going to be awesome. It always is. And I tell you what, the more we seek first to understand, then be understood, we make progress.
And we like to do that. And that's why everybody's on the brink. We love what we do at Edge Radio because everybody's on the edge. We bring them back from the edge and we bring the unity. So we're just glad to Edge Radio Network every Tuesday morning, 10 a.m. Talk about unity because here at Edge Radio Network, truth still matters.
Are you a small business owner concerned about the downturn in the economy? Top business leaders like Mattress Mac and Warren Buffett will tell you that now is the time to promote your business more than ever. People need your services. Your business needs an edge. Learn about special advertising packages for small businesses right here on Edge Radio. Find out more, give us a call at 281-744-0446. That's 281-744-0446. Edge, because truth still matters.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Global Sports
Sports
Network.
Network. Right.
Chris Fernandez, John Foster, and we were talking basketball. Chris, what are we going to talk about now?
Well, we're going to boxing, John.
Boxing.
We have Canelo Alvarez fighting tomorrow here in San Antonio, Texas, guys. Pay-per-view tomorrow night starts at 8 o'clock. He's go ahead and he's going to fight Callum Smith of England, John. And,
yeah. What do you think about that fight, Chris?
Well, I think that's going to be a very short fight for Canelo.
Really?
I believe that it'd be somewhat of a simple fight for him. I'd say third, fourth round, Canelo wins the fight.
Is it a scheduled 8-round, 12-round probably?
Perhaps. I didn't check
Title
the stats
fight.
on that.
Big
it has
fight.
to be. The majority of the fights before that, of course, they usually have different cards and different fighters before the main
I'm
event.
kind of familiar. Yeah, that's kind
you
of
know
what
the
happened. I
boxing,
know a
you know
little
the
bit
deal,
about
you know how
that.
it works. They're not going to show you the goods right away. They're going to save it to the very end.
Yep.
That's kind of what they're doing right there.
Yep.
And we're excited because they're here in San Antonio, John. I told you we're going to get credentials for that. I totally forgot to request
I know.
them.
I thought we were going to
Right,
this
I
fight.
know.
So,
Eldorado
we're
News, I
driving
just
here,
slipped
and then
on.
you give me the bad news that, no, we're not going. The
I
fight's
know.
tomorrow night.
Well, the other thing, John, of course, my eye. I had eye surgery.
You did.
So
Yeah,
that kind of got
it's
in
been
the
rough
way.
for Chris. Yeah.
Not able to see my my emails, John. It's
I
very
have
hard for me to read.
another thing to add to my resume now. Chauffeur.
Sure, he's my chauffeur now. Yeah, I forgot to tell you
I'm
guys.
the chauffeur.
My chauffeur. But this fight comes just a few months before Canelo Alvarez leaves Golden Boy, which is Oscar De La Hoya. That's his name brand boxing team, and he left him.
De La
basically,
Hoya. De La Hoya's having a
contractual
little.
agreement, John.
I don't know if he signed yet the fight. What, Vince? Do you know if De La Hoya signed one of these fighters, and the fighter says, "Well, if he fights me, he better be afraid of it for his life," and De La Hoya's telling him, and his fighter just fought him too.
Wow.
A guy that he was representing fought him.
Yeah.
And lost. I believe he lost.
Yeah, they've had grievances, coach, and this comes shortly after Canelo leaves De La Hoya. So Golden Boy.
Well, he better be careful. I like De La Hoya, and I think he might be able to back that up. But I've also experienced being a professional athlete when it falls off, it falls off. And you think you got it, but maybe you don't.
You don't. If you're out of the ring for a year,
so,
2 years, you lose it, coach.
A year, you try 15 years.
Yeah. It's a little more difficult.
It's tough.
You think it is. You think it's the same.
Well, with anything
until you get hit again.
With
right?
anything,
Right,
I've experienced that on the tennis court. I go and I play a little tournament. Well, really, I hadn't played, but I used to be able to do that. Can't do that.
Yeah.
Got to put in my work. I
Coach, also,
I better
this
be
year,
playing.
Very excited, Coach, because this year's Olympics coming up. this summer, you're looking at Japan Olympics. You're looking at breakdancing. Breakdancing is going to be a sport, believe it or not, in the Japan Olympics.
Yeah.
What do you
Where's
think of that
darts
one?
at? I don't get this, man.
Right,
What,
I know,
So what is
right?
it? Break dancing?
How's
Really?
that
I mean,
competitive?
actually,
I don't know.
I'll give. But you know,
That sport,
I'm
of course.
sorry. When you
dancing
talk
was
about, you know, they push the puck and then they're cleaning the ice. Where they got spooning? What is that called?
Yeah.
Vince, what's that called when they do that? They're throwing it across the ice and they're
Is
they're,
it spooling or
curling.
Curling.
Who curls? Chris, do you curl? Vince, you curl? Who curls? Is there a person in this room that curls? You know, yeah, we're going to throw it across and we're going to, you know, clean it, try to get it in a little circle over there. There's less than 1%, of 1%, of 1%, of 1% of all the people in the world, let's do another 1%, that curl, that ever
I
will
saw that
curl.
when they first
how
did
many
it, I
people
was
throw a
like,
dart?
it's kind of like when you go on a cruise ship and you throw the chip and try to get it close to that number.
Yeah.
What is that called? Scatterboard. or
Talk
whatever?
about boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shuffleboard. There you go. Kind of
Shuffleboard.
like a shuffleboard. Trying
Yeah.
To, yeah.
I mean, yeah, we should put,
heck?
you know, the shuffleboard in there next.
How exciting is
But-
that? I
but
watched it
darts-
for 2 minutes and changed it.
Look at darts. I heard darts was you know, close or something. Some inside sources were saying.
in another
but
sport, John.
everybody plays darts. How
big
many
time.
people would watch that? A lot of people.
A lot of people. Another thing, also this year, 2021, a lot of the major teams, John, the worldwide teams, have team soccer. Soccer is coming. World Cup soccer is coming in
Yep.
2022, and this is a year the majority of the teams, Mexico, U.S., Canada, North American teams, they get ready to play. They play for positioning in World Cup 2022, which will be held in Qatar. And of course, John, first time in history, World Cup will be held at night. Okay, and that's
Yeah, it's
because
so
in
hot.
Qatar,
Yeah.
by 10 a.m. it's about 120.
How hot
John.
is it?
About
Yeah.
120 by 10 a.m. in Qatar.
That
so this is the first time in history that
crazy.
World Cup is going to be played at night, John. Can't wait.
I can't
But
imagine that, Chris.
This year, I'm expecting with everything that's happening with the vaccine, as we broke in this morning, the vaccine, part of it was delivered last week by Pfizer.
Mhm.
Now the Moderna vaccine has been approved. Now it has to
It has.
be approved and ratified by the main honcho of FDA
Right.
this week, and hopefully it'll roll out next week. And guys, we're looking at March where it's going to be available for pretty much the general population, and by May, pretty much everybody should be vaccinated,
There
and
you
we'll
go.
have herd immunity, and we may have things going back to normal.
That would be nice.
come
Yeah.
June, and with that, June, July, we're going to have
There you go.
World Cup soccer, Gold Cup soccer coming your way.
Yes.
John.
All right. So soccer's back.
exciting.
They flop too much for me, Chris, nowadays. Sorry.
Yeah.
Too much flopping.
An
The
official said it's part of the game now. So,
Yeah, it's part of the game.
Yeah.
I hate it.
yeah, I hate it too.
I hate it. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
It's
So,
part of the game.
you know, I mean, it got worse than basketball.
You can't do review.
And I mean,
you
they
can't do
really
any of
fake
that.
it. They're like down, you know, they make the medical crew come over.
They're like,
And then the guy wasn't
"Oh."
hit at all. And when you go back and look at the
This is
replay,
what- this is
but
what
they're
tripped-
carting him off on the
John,
thing.
John, this is what trips me up. They put him on the hammock, right? On
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
cart.
They take
him
him
on
to
the
the
cart.
sideline, he gets up and
He gets
walks.
up and he's ready to go. I'm like, "Oh, what the hell? What?
That's
How?
good. That's
How does
good.
that happen?
I don't know. Well, what do you think? We're gonna switch it over to Texans?
Yeah, let's go ahead and we've got that time right now, John. We
Yep.
may or may not be back next Friday because of Christmas. And if we're not, I apologize to everyone, but I have been ill the past 2 weeks.
Right.
My eye surgery and whatnot. But hopefully we'll be back after the new year. on a
Looking pretty good
schedule,
today.
John.
Pretty
And,
dapper today.
Well, the
Dapper Dan.
Texans go off to Indy this week, and I, of course, have them splitting this game, have them winning this game. But last week I had them winning over at the Bears.
Against the Bears. The Bears.
And they didn't win.
No, they didn't show up.
Yep,
You know,
Did not show up.
I was listening to Romeo talking about, well, there was one or two people out there really trying. Really? How many people are on the field at one time, Chris?
Right, I know. 11.
Unbelievable. Well, a
Wow.
couple of them were trying, and what's dangerous here, and you heard about Deshaun Watson,
Yep.
he had his restaurant open up on Monday or Tuesday this
Right,
week.
Right.
And, there might be some penalties coming down on the
Right.
Texans. So I was like, well, suspend Deshaun and those group. Tunsil was part of it,
Yep.
a few others. But anyhow, Chris, then you gave me the bad news. The suspension is,
The suspension
could be,
could be up to $500,000.
And it was
this will
for
be
a
the
team
Raiders,
already.
For the Raiders.
Wow. I did,
and as an association, because
That's
if they're
crazy.
not able to control their players, then the league is going to go ahead and find the team.
And the team.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And you know,
the player could face 1 or 2 to up to 6 games suspension or something
Right.
like that. So
And yeah, it was, well, I mean, Deshaun, he has his restaurant. He's got to do that. A few of his friends are going to show up. But the thing was, you know, for media pictures and stuff, he didn't say, and the NFL has these guidelines. It's going to be interesting to see what they
we
say.
talked about that, John. Even though it's outside, even though it's business, even though you're the face of the city right now, because there's not really another sport going on.
No, he's the man.
You know,
he is the man.
We're
Watson,
talking about leadership, and
no doubt about it.
I don't see the leadership. And if you lead on the field, you need to lead off the field. And
I
just
think
didn't
he
see
does.
that.
You don't go there. I think Deshaun Watson really is a straight up and a great citizen, a great role model. So this one incident, yeah, but I mean, there's
John,
technicals that
could
make
be-
him off here. It's
this
not
could be
like
a-
he's doing
This
something,
could be a killer
you know.
incident, John. And then when he was interviewed, he was, oh no, it wasn't an event. Oh no, yeah, I had my mask on. He is blatantly lying, because it is an event, and he didn't have his mask on,
Mhm.
and it was outside, and it was in front of media. Media is like maybe 2 feet away from him, not 6,
Yeah.
when they're asking questions, John.
He better put some smarter PR people around him. Then
needs
you
to,
know, yeah,
'cause
because really that would be, you know, when you got somebody of Deshaun Watson's caliber, especially since he's been paid. I mean,
Right,
you
right.
need to be consulting with 1 or 2 people. What do I do here? Do I do this?
Should I
And they're
do this?
leading the way, just like a football team has a coach. You need
You know
a coach.
how you have your girlfriend, and Tony Romo had his girlfriend, and she was
Yeah,
always
we
like-
have the same girlfriend.
Right. We
Yeah.
have the same girl. Okay, fine. And then what happens is that you tend to forget the legal and everything else. How about you get an attorney who stands right next to you every time you speak, and he pinches you when you say the wrong things? That's what Deshaun Watson needs from now forward.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm surprised he doesn't have that now, or
Yeah,
maybe he does, and somebody, you know,
He
he knew
needs
he
to.
had the restaurant opening.
He needs to.
You know, and so he's got to be there and do that. Maybe a couple friends come, but somebody doesn't have the brains behind him to go, look, this is going to happen. You're going to get some PR on it. I mean, it's
But
a
you got to
simple,
interview with your mask on like
it's a
everybody
simple
else. You know, John.
fix, and then you know whoever's looking out for him too needs to know in his contract and the NFL contract. Look, these are the guidelines. I mean, if Deshaun's not going to take his time to read it,
Guidelines are clear.
he could
You can't-
afford to
you can't be
have
doing
somebody
that,
around
John.
him that does that and makes sure stupid stuff like this doesn't happen. But I'm
Right.
actually happy if they I hope they ground him for a game, 2
And,
games,
you know, it's
3
odd,
games.
John,
That's
because
good.
every
'cause
other
we-
show that
we don't
I've
need to get
heard
him
this
hurt.
week, every other show that I've heard this week,
Yeah.
they're saying no, that he should play his games out. Deshaun Watson also said, I want to play all 3 games that are left.
Yeah.
And all the radio stations I've heard this week say, no, he should play his games. Why are we the only one? Because we realize the value of this quarterback and that we need to have him next year. Let's just say he plays tonight and he gets hurt. Then how are those folks going to look?
Right? No. The team's a mess. Without Deshaun Watson on the team, JJ said it in a press conference this week. Hey, as long as you have number 4, you have a chance. And that's such a big deal. And you talk about the coaches going around that are going to be shuffled around this year in the NFL, okay?
Right.
In a couple of weeks, you're going to see a lot of shuffling going on. The Lions are looking. People are interviewing. We got people
Everybody
coming
right
in.
now,
Well, anyhow,
you know, they think that because of COVID, it's going to save their job. But really, because of COVID, a lot of folks that are coaching and haven't lived up to their coaching experience, you know, they're actually on the cutting board, John. They're fixing to get cut because they haven't performed,
right.
you know?
Right. Well, there's a lot of reasons to go into that. But, yeah, so the coaches are going to be going around. Well, if you're looking to come to Houston, Deshaun Watson's your number 1 factor. Let's say in the next 3 games he gets hurt.
Right.
You know, I agree with some there's a lot of people out there saying he gets hurt, and if I'm a general manager or if I'm a coach, the appeal to come to Houston, there is none. He is the main reason. Now, if you're Cal McNair and you're watching the football game and you see the guy you're just paying millions of dollars to, and he takes a hit on the last play, you're out of the game. Yeah, I mean, even when you have if you don't have a chance, this guy doesn't belong in the game. He should play only as long as they're in the game. And well, I mean that if I
John,
saw that
they
my
should
line was getting him killed, and the only reason why we're staying alive is because Deshaun Watson is avoiding disaster and getting knocked out of the game and beating the whole other team. And yeah, look, for what? We win the game. Doesn't mean anything, and there's no benefit.
I think that this week will be very much like the one 2 weeks ago where the Indianapolis D line came back. It was their first game back. I think that it's going to be a free-for-all for the defensive line. They had 4 sacks 2 weeks ago. They're going to have more sacks this week. So unless you have a solid offensive line, I would not put Deshaun Watson out there.
Well,
because
they're doing
he
it.
is going to be injured, Coach.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
There's
Let's make
no
some
doubt.
early predictions on the football.
Okay.
Yeah, you say he's going to be out there.
I think he's going to have 3. I think
He shouldn't be out there in the
Indians
fourth
gonna have
quarter when we're blown out.
3
That's a
sacks.
joke.
And we talked about it the other day also. I would do it like a preseason game, Coach. Preseason. I would have
Right.
him 2 quarters in, 2 quarters out. Get
Right.
McCarron in there.
Right.
Get him out. That's
Yep.
what I would do.
I like that better than we're playing Deshaun Watson, and when we're losing, we still play Deshaun Watson. That's a joke, man. But the little Corey League teams do that with players, but we're not going to do it in the pros. That's anyway, let's pick our teams
Coach,
here.
you
We're
must
down
play
to 1
smart,
minute here.
Coach. You must play smart. Okay.
It might teach him to play
McCarron.
smart.
You got to play McCarron, Coach.
You got to
The
play
last 3
McCarron.
games.
Yeah.
We have one
we're-
more minute
Super Bowl. Yeah, we're down to about 1 minute here. So
for the break. Okay,
I'm
cool,
seeing
cool.
Chiefs Green Bay right now seems to be the favorite.
Well, right now you would be absolutely correct, Coach. In the NFC, you're looking at number 1 spot. You're looking at Green Bay. Number 1 spot for the AFC. You're looking at Kansas City. Then you have the Steelers, and then everyone else right after
The Steelers?
that.
Well, I don't
one
know. How
seed-
about Buffalo? Buffalo. I'll
is-
tell you, my 2 white horses, the Dolphins and
Coach,
Washington.
I'm going off the stats.
Yeah.
The 2 seed is Pittsburgh. The 3 seed is Buffalo. That's where.
Right.
that's
No,
how
but
they-
I don't.
yeah.
I don't care where
Oh,
they're
that's how you
seated.
pick it.
I'm
Okay,
just
okay.
saying. I think Buffalo's a lot tougher than Pittsburgh right now.
Mm,
I do. I mean, Pittsburgh can play some ball, but Buffalo has a solid team. So Buffalo.
To be honest-
watch out for Washington. What do you think of Seattle?
in Seattle's fading from what I'm seeing, Coach.
Yeah.
Seattle is in the hunt. They're at number 8, number 9 seed. I don't know. It's going to be really tough for them.
New Orleans. New Orleans is another one.
Yeah, they're also in the 8th or
he's
9th
got-
seed in the NFC
Yep.
right now.
So
No, actually, they're in the 4th seed.
So New Orleans is tough. All right. So I think that's about it. So I would say Chiefs and Green Bay, and you agree with that right now?
Chiefs and Green Bay, I totally 1,000%
Tennessee,
agree.
Buffalo. I like those. I
Right.
like Buffalo. I like
Tennessee's
Buffalo.
in
maybe
the 4th seed, right behind Buffalo, Coach.
Tennessee's tough too, but I like to see that Buffalo Chiefs maybe in the AFC Championship game
Right.
if we can see that.
All right, everybody, we're going break.
Yep.
We'll be right back. We're coming right at you with J.J. Watt and the new contract, Coach.
Yeah. Well, I think we're.
The Natural Nation Network is really about taking control of your health physically, spiritually, emotionally, even intellectually, because there's so much out there in misinformation. There's a lot of people now that are suffering from all sorts of diseases that they really wouldn't have to suffer for if they had better information. And that's what we're here to do. Provide information that can save lives.
The mind and the body are totally connected.
Health can be really serious, and sometimes we just have to lighten it up a little bit while we're still providing substantive information.
And my sort of mantra on the salsa dance floor is kind of similar. I tell somebody, if you make a mistake twice, it becomes a move. Okay,
Tune into Natural Nation every Tuesday at 11 a.m.
When people stop talking to each other, society is on the edge. Let's bring them back. Edge Radio, because truth still matters.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Global Sports Network this Friday, the Friday before Christmas. And we're going to talk J.J. Watt, possible new contract coming next season. John?
Yes.
What do you think? Watt or no Watt in 2021?
That's a big question. And the question, it can't be answered right now. We don't know who the general manager or the coach is.
Right.
So we're going to find out where Cal McNair, what direction he's going in, whether it's a rebuild, get some draft picks for JJ. If JJ wants to leave, the other day he made a statement. He loves Houston, Texas. This is his state. Blah blah blah. Is he setting us up for bye-bye? I love you, but I have to leave, or is he?
Yeah, maybe he's giving his thanks and thank you very much.
Or maybe he's telling the Texans he wants to stay.
Right.
I want to stay.
Of course,
I love it here.
Coach, that JJ Watt is going into a contract year. That means at the end of the end of the 2021 season, his contract with the Texans has expired. He has another $17 million to play for next year. But I'm believing and I have faith that the Texans are going to do the right thing, seeing that they've lost so many stars and so many good players already due to really horrible decisions by Bill O'Brien and the Texans. I believe that J.J. Watt will be signed, and they're going to hash out a new contract for him right before the new season, 2021. And J.J. Watt will remain for the event. And in fact, that maybe he will not be here, Coach. They better get some good folks in here, especially in the secondary.
Yeah,
what
definitely. The coach, the general manager coming in really needs to be on point. We were talking about that.
On point.
The minute they hire him, I mean, he's got to take Cal McNair's direction. Where you want to go with the football team? Are we making it this year? Are we investing money? Because he's got some moves to make. Through free agency, because we have no draft picks really, first round, second round picks for the next 2 years, I think. So he's going to have to really, know the weak holes, and then and put it together. Get the coach.
Morning, they picked up a new off of waivers. They picked up a new secondary fella. I think he's a corner, and his name is Mark Fields, and we don't know anything about him. He's played 26 snaps. I mean, we don't know anything about him.
Yeah, well, they're real short in the defensive
real short
back.
In the details, and so very basically, you have a defensive back playing safety and a safety playing defensive back, according to Bill O'Brien, right before he left. So then, you're looking. If I'm Texans and I'm making the decisions here, I will cut Merciless at 17 mil that I can save.
Yeah,
I'm going to cut 13. That's 13 mil that I can cut. 6 mil to some guy named Murray in the secondary, and probably another 12 mil to a couple of the linebackers. They're not doing anything. So right there, rolled up, you're looking at about a good 30,000. Plus, if J.J. Watt leaves, you're looking at a good $50 million, folks, that I could possibly use, plus free agency to get, plus your cap and your draft choices to get a good supporting defense.
To get who we were talking about it the other day. This person might be available. Breaking news. I don't know. Huh?
Ooh.
The guy from the Bears who was thinking about coming.
Khalil Mack?
Khalil Mack. Not Khalil Mack. It's not Khalil Mack. It's another big defensive end. Not Khalil. It's not Khalil. But anyhow, that would be great to have AJ.
Was he the same one that was with the Houston?
Huh?
The same one that was with the Texans before?
No, not Clowney. Not Clowney.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, that would be cool to have the two great.
If we can get those guys here, John, then what you're looking at is, let's just say we get some free agents, low money, maybe even for 1 year even. And if we can just get 1 year pieced together on the defense, because you need more pieces to the puzzle on the defense. Especially secondary.
See, and that's a big thing right now. See, that's a big thing right now, too, hiring a coach. Are we going to bring in an offensive-minded guy that's going to be, be able to help Deshaun Watson blossom? Or do you bring in a defensive coach that has to hire a good coach? A lot of times in these negotiations, when it goes on, it's like, who's around you? Who's going to be your defensive coordinator? So, so you're coming in as a package deal, So when you interview these coaches right now, you're looking at a package deal. You know, one guy might be good, but if he doesn't have a good defensive coordinator coming in, or vice versa.
You know what, Coach? Also, you know, and if I'm Cal McNair, if I'm talking to Cal McNair, I say, look, Cal, look, this is what you need, sir. You want to bring in an offensive coordinator that knows good players and has good contact with good players. Plus, you want to bring an offensive coordinator that knows a great defensive coordinator.
Right.
It's able to.
Right.
It's able to be in the mix
package
with
deal,
you and is able to help you maneuver the offense according to their defense, your defense.
Right.
So very basically, Mr. McNair, this is what I would do for you. I would be able to find the one guy that's able to piece your offensive guys that you're missing, which is a guard and a center, or two guards and a center, and you're also missing, in my opinion, a good number one running back. I don't believe that you have the running back you need to have right now. Plus, your offensive coordinator will know a great defensive coordinator that's going to go ahead and mix and match.
Well, they can know them, Chris, but also it's availability. Are they under contract? Are they not? So, you know, you got to make sure that these people are.
Hey, Coach, there's a saying in Mexico.
Yeah.
Hay un dicho en México.
You speak Spanish again?
Sí, claro, yo hablo español. Que con el dinero baila el perro.
Sounds good.
That with money, everything is possible.
Everything's possible. Well, the only thing is, if
they gotta
get a guy in here who can help Deshaun Watson do what he does. If you bring somebody in here, you're really going to mess up the pie that doesn't and keeps him in. You know, he's progressing right now without really being able to be his own self.
Yeah, the one thing I had talked to you before was that, according to the Harden with his general manager and Rockets, you don't want to do the same thing with the Texans. You don't want to ask Deshaun Watson, well, who you want to bring? I mean, Deshaun Watson's head quarterback. He's the quarterback. He's not going to make your choices for you, and he should never have to make those choices for you.
Right, but you should know, and that's where the disconnect comes sometimes, because Cal McNair, he hasn't gotten it right yet. You know, all these moves that have been made in the past, they've all been wrong. So now we're expecting all of a sudden he's going to fix it, and he's going to find the right decision.
Hey, Coach, but you said, like you said to me yesterday in the other show, was, well, that's why Cal McNair has these people, so they can make those decisions.
Right, he's consulting.
Those folks like Eastery and O'Brien that made the wrong decisions. That's because you told me that Brian Gaines, general manager before, right? Right. That he was great and he was all that. I was like, really, Coach? I don't think so. I haven't heard all those great things about. Oh yeah, Chris, you told me that last year, the year before.
Yeah.
I said, no, Coach, I don't think so. And then he got fired, didn't he? Did not
yeah, but you know the there's a big scam on that right now with the 700 words on Easterby. That's a joke. I mean, you can't fire Easterby or let him go because he's gotten rid of so many people, that he runs everything. And through the protocol and what we're going on right now,
we talked about that.
You can't have the one, so that's why I think he's not gone.
We talked about
but
that, Coach, and
he'll probably retire.
Legalities where they can't mention he's leaving, they can't mention he's going to be leaving, they can't mention the upper management. They can't go ahead and say
he's got to resign at the last game of the season. Just resign. He'll probably be out.
He'll probably be gone. I don't think that.
Got to move on. Time to go. Bye bye.
And even if he doesn't, Coach, the next GM, the next coach is not going to want to be under someone else that like him.
No.
Especially after all the negative media they've heard throughout the league, throughout ESPN.
There was two reporters that wrote this story, Chris, and they're very credible. So, they when they write something, it's like Watergate. I was connecting it like that. It's like all of a sudden you're exposed.
Hey, Coach,
there
how
it
about
is.
that Bill Belichick? When they asked him, well, he's a personnel guy. Oh no, he's not a personnel guy. He will never be a personnel guy. He's not that kind of guy.
Yeah.
So why is he making these decisions for the Texans when he has no experience in personnel? I just don't understand that.
Well, it's all in the 700 words, Chris. I haven't read it either, but it'd be good to look at. They talk to other players. He came in to be a motivational coach and motivate people, and also make sure they walk the right path.
If they pay me the $3 million, I can be the motivator.
Well, this year, what he's done to the locker room? He split the locker room. Some players are talking about
that's what he did.
People following them. That's crazy.
It's $3 million. That's what he's making, Coach.
Yeah, $3 million. I heard. Yep. So and then putting little
Sticky notes.
cards down, footnotes for everybody. You know, I mean, some guys just ain't gonna buy into that. I'm sorry, they play football, man.
I'm sorry, but I'm not a sticky note kind of guy.
No, you know, you can't change the culture. Well, he ruined the culture. So
basically, yes.
but
that's
he's
exactly
still
what
around.
happened.
You know, the thing.
In covering the Texans
blew
for
it
the
up.
last 15 years, I don't believe that bringing Bill O'Brien was part of any culture, Coach. I think he was trying to change everything, and that's exactly what he did. But he did it for the negative. In majority of our press conferences, Bill O'Brien was more negative than he was positive towards media, towards the questions that were being asked. There was more information being left out than given.
Yeah, he got himself in a noose. Bill O'Brien, you know what? The Easterby, I think he brought in Easterby, and Easterby cleaned house, including him, with some of his advice and all of that.
But just
you know,
look at who's still here. That's your
but
answer.
the coaches are our offensive line coach. I don't know why he's still even around. I mean, you know, so there's going to be a lot of coaching changes. I'm looking forward to it.
Hey,
a new
Coach, guess
owner,
what? I'm
somebody
applying
that's smart.
for the Texans to be an offensive coach.
Yes,
Offensive line coach.
there you go. Chris
I just might get
Fernandez
hired.
running for Senate and the Houston Texans
Now,
line coach.
Coach, you've seen me call every play, and you see me when I'm sitting there with you, and I say, this is what it's going to be, and this is what they're going to run, and that's exactly what they run. The other day when they fumbled that ball,
Yeah.
I was maybe a half a second before he fumbled the ball. I said, look, this is going to be a fumble. Boom, fumble.
There's a fumble. Oh.
Guys,
He calls it.
very, very, very easy to read are the Texans. I just don't know why we still have these folks out there. I know we can't. They said, well, we can't change captains in midstream. Well, you better do something.
Yeah.
Because we're going down in this boat. And that's exactly what they did.
So, one last note before we knock off here. The tennis, the Australian Open is going to start a little late. February 8th is the start date for that. So, tennis is back on in 2021.
All the tennis should be looking great for this
Tennis
next
is
season.
looking good. Tennis is
all
looking
the
good.
vaccines that are taking place
Yeah.
now, everything should be in place for a great spring and summer.
Yes.
For everyone. Hopefully, we'll get back to normalcy right around April, May.
Yep.
So where it started, it's going to end, hopefully, in 2021.
Chris, I'm looking at the Mayweather here and the Paul fight. That I don't know how the Boxing Association can allow this. You can't let a guy, he's going to get hurt. Paul's going to get hurt. He won't touch Mayweather. Mayweather's one of the best fighters of all time. It'll be a joke. I mean, he could really hurt this guy. So I don't know how they're going to sanction that. And this guy, Paul, he needs
Paul
it.
is
Even though
closer-
he's 220,
right,
he
he's
won't
closer
touch.
to an
It's a
amateur than he
joke
is a
fight.
professional, right, Coach?
I'd like to see it just to watch him beat, But
closer
he
to
could
a-
really hurt this guy.
Right, he's closer to an
It's a
amateur
pro.
than he is a pro.
Not only a pro,
No,
he's
no,
one of the best
no.
fighters of all time.
No, Paul.
Ugh.
Paul.
Yeah.
Paul. I'm saying
Paul.
Paul.
Yeah.
He's closer to an amateur than
He
a
is an
professional.
amateur. He's been boxing 2 years. You can't learn to fight
So
in
then
2
I
years.
don't see how the Boxing Association can sanction this.
Okay,
fight.
just watch.
Yeah,
If
I
it goes
just-
on,
I
I
just
don't know
don't
how they
know.
can let that go.
Well,
All right.
everybody, Coach, I think we're coming close to the end. I want to thank everybody for being here, and again, Merry Christmas. We won't
Yes.
see you till after the New Year. Thank you for being here at Global Sports Network and the Edge Radio here in Houston.
Happy
John?
holidays. Enjoy. Be safe, everybody. We're looking forward to a better 2021.
Yes, sir.